Hey, what's up, Shaft? How's it going, TD? How you doing, man? Nithrix, how's it going? How's it going? Hope you guys are doing well. Hey, what's up, Dirk? How you doing, bro? How are you doing? Oops.
Foundling! It is a pity to see you like this. You arrived on our Ranger, an outcast, lurking.
Hey, what's up, Elusive?
Like an animal.
Hello, what's up, Slolo Viov? How you doing? Sure, I said that name horribly.
Your guilt is clear. Plead for mercy, if you must.
You're doing this build for sure? Hell yeah, Dirk. Hell yeah. I am very excited for it too. I cannot wait to play it.
It'll take a better snare than that to catch me.
How will you practice it without having the new item? I mean, you're playing bow from a Warbringer start, so just getting practice on that alone is useful, but you know, it is limited practice for sure. But I'm someone who's barely played bows, and I've never played bows from the Warbringer start, so there's definitely plenty that can be learned. Obviously, we're not going to be able to test the power we will gain from the bow and how the interactions work, but we can at least map out the early game, you know? The early game, the early maps. Yeah, I have a full mobilytics Nithrix. I'm using rearguard in it.
Thunderous shot.
Didn't mean to get hit by that. I mean, even after we get Ironbound, there's still plenty that can be practiced and tested, you know? A lot of, like, Ironbound just introduces, like, you know, the league, like, the return mechanic, but you're still gonna be playing a normal bow skill build behind it, you know, so. All the bow gives us is just a lot of power, but it doesn't like transform fully how we play the campaign and stuff, you know, it just makes us do a lot more damage. Oh wait, I don't care about that. This guy's just a mule.
There's a knife you could channel your violence against this.
Fools of the Forge turned tools of war.
Welcome to the... I fear this. I've collected these over time. What do you think? I will treasure it. Bye.
A songbird makes for easy prey. She'd best watch her back.
Foundling! It is a pity to see.
You don't need to use any block chance nodes to get to 100% to the block cap you need. Investing in block chance nodes, like, you would maybe briefly do it in the campaign, but that's just gigabait. You should be armor stacking. With armor stacking, rear guard, and the boots, or the bow, you can easily hit 50% block cap in the campaign. You're probably not going to be doing the 75% block cap until either the 3rd or 4th Ascendancy points.
I'd best hurry.
And then by the time you're in that point, you're going to have enough armor to where you can hit 75% block cap without it. You should join the Thorns Discord, Nithrix. We have an entire channel about this.
Now
build where we got a bunch of like POBs and math and dweeb stuff going on in there. But we should not need much. Like, maybe if you're forcing the 75% block in the campaign, you would need a few block nodes here and there, but I don't think that's going to be the play. During the campaign, you only get 4 Ascendancy nodes, so that means you're either forced to take 75% block or the automated armor break. And the automated armor break is going to be just a much, like, net bigger quality of life gain for the build. But also a net damage increase, because the 4th point goes into elemental damage starts benefiting from armor break, and it's likely that either lightning arrow or ice shot are our primary damage skill until deep in the late game when we can swap the spiral volley. So in just terms of raw DPS, the armor break applying to elemental is probably going to be A, just more efficient for the build in terms of quality of life, but B, comparable damage early on. Hey, what's up, Colin? How you doing, man? What are you planning to play until you get the unique bow? I'm gonna be playing bow from the start. From the very start.
Stalking us out in the valley. It moves unseen under the dirt. Now, if you could channel your violence against...
No, we did not hit the move speed boots.
The Count must die for what he has done to us.
Well, even through the 4th points, because, like, if you go through the 4th points, right, and you force 75% block in the campaign, then that means you have to force armor break other ways, which isn't bad, but
we will survive this. I swear it.
the armor break stuff is, like, in order to get 75% block in the campaign, you would need A, to invest in the block nodes, which is a net DPS increase, or B, use something like Legion Stride, which has no movement speed on it. So,
Stay safe if you
I don't, like, could you force 75% block in the campaign? Sure. But I don't think that's going to be the right way to do it. I think you're going to be playing the armor break talents, and you'll be playing the campaign at 50% block, and then you'll play 75% block when you get your 6th points. Because then you can invest in the 75% block while also having the automated armor break. I think that would be the earliest you do the 75% block. Or are you going to try and see if Ritual and Fraythorn is exploitable? Right now, it's looking like it's not going to be, based off the specific wording in the patch notes. There's still a chance, because that wording was, like, targeted towards uniques and omens. But it looks like it's not. Even if it is, though, let's just say Fraythorn uniques are farmable. I'm probably not farming for Ironbound there. I'm just gonna buy it. I'll be able to buy one of the first ones pretty easily. I'll just save my currency. I'll give like a couple exalts or a chaos for it. No big deal. People forget that, like, you can still trade at the start of the league with the old trade system, and plenty of people will use it. I think the prices will be fine. I played Thorns in 0.3 when it was reasonably popular. Asmongold and Quinn were both league starting it in Trade League. So that made Thorns gear, like, you know, people were scooping Thorns gear. And even on League Launch, I remember spending like a Chaos Orb and a few Exalted Orbs for the Thorns gear. This is like a singular unique. You'll want a second one, which is Rear Guard, but like, it's such a hyper-specific build. And there's so many other, like, goodies and teasers out, like, teasing things in this patch that, like, unless someone like Fub randomly says he's league starting the bow, there's no shot it is, popular or expensive. No more thorns? I mean, I play thorns every patch, but I've only league started thorns one time ever. Thorns is not a good league starter, so I'll still probably play thorns this patch. There's some cool stuff I want to do with it, but I've only ever league started it one time. So it's not like it's my go-to league starter, you know. I'll be league starting it in 1.0 when it's free to play, but yeah. There's just too many question marks with thorns right now to be able to league start it. You know, the leech changes are a big question mark. You know. I don't think the helmet's gonna be, but like, you know, maybe. Maybe it is an Elzamite or Kalgurin. I think the suspicion is Briar Patch boots are Ezomite. But we'll see.
Radiates a strange energy.
Fear will lift you.
I should like them all.
But I don't know, like, worst case, like, let's say, like, it costs the same amount as, like, Crowned It on that one league, which is, like, 1 to 2 Chaos, like. I'll be able to get it. I'm not too concerned. I'll just save currency and buy it. Like, if I don't have it by the time I'm Ascended, I'd be shocked.
How deep does it veers?
And, like, I'm not just talking about that me as, like, a guy who's a streamer who might, like, just have someone in chat be like, I got one, you want to buy it? But, like, I just assume it's going to be a very frequent drop, and, like, per usual with all those low-level uniques. And 99% of people that get it as a drop are going to look at that and go, I'm not scaling block, I'm not scaling armor, I'm not playing bows, and I don't have armor break. I'm not using this. Like, the only people who are going to be using that bow on League Start are people, like, who are League starting the bow. And that is going to be, like, the fact that it's a unique item that you're having to League Start, most people, like, just mauled at the mouth, like, that's not a League starter! It's not a unique, that's not a League starter! So, like, that just, like, eliminates a portion of the player base on its own, so I think it's gonna be cheap. I think it's gonna be cheap and fine.
Corruption has twisted it into a nightmare.
I thought I dodge rolled out of that, but I got stuck on them.
I'm not ready. I can't yet.
I mean, you could say it's copium. I have league-started thorns that requires you trading for 3 different uniques, and you have to upgrade your gear, 3 pieces of gear, your shield, your belt, and your chest, every level bracket. Like, Trade League isn't as hard as people make it out to be. Like, you can trade for stuff very easily on League launch. I don't know. Again, there's going to be a lot of them dropping. The only thing that makes it expensive is if it's a popular bow. And that only happens if, you know,
I'll do it again.
someone massive League starts it. Not someone like me. Me League starting the build will not drive up the price. Once you get the support, everything dies. Yeah, I mean, that's my problem with Thorns right now. One of my biggest complaints is you can start playing Thorns at the end or beginning of Act 2 when you have the level 16 helmet and the level 11 boots. But you don't get the support gems for it until Act 3. So there's like this awkward period where you're not really getting to play Thorns, and then it just gets a massive power spike. Which, you know, it's fine how that's how they won it, I guess, too.
Hello. Finn makes fun of my collection. Another for my collection.
So yeah, for those that tuned in late or haven't been following, this is my League starter. I am playing a new bow that's coming out on the patch. It's called Ironbound. And I'm playing it on a Warbringer. And for my League starter, I am thinking about, and if you're new to PoE, you might not have seen this because it's not very common in PoE 2, but in PoE 1 there's something called Muling, where you, like, your first character of the League, you play one class, you get, like, skills or weapons or something from it, you do a couple quests or something to get access to a specific skill or support, and then you put it in your stash, and then you go swap to the character that you want to play. And usually in PoE 2, that's not a thing, because with the skill gem system, you have access to every single item in the game, every single support gem in the game, and you can very easily get the weapons you want from vendors. But for this build, it's kind of nice to do. It takes you about 90 seconds to 2 minutes to kill the Miller on a Ranger, and doing that gets you Lightning Arrow, Lightning Rod, a bow, and a quiver. I've done a lot of Bowbringer League starts, and if you get really lucky off Miller, you might get a bow. But then you won't be able to afford the quiver. And then you'll only have one of the support gems, Lightning Arrow and Lightning Rod, until you go get the camp, and it just feels a little bit slow. And your other solutions are get lucky with enough gold to buy stuff, go kill Barra with a mace to buy stuff, and of everything I've tested, none of it, like, and of course there's the Rust King option as well. You play maces until Rust King, and you get the short bow from the Rust King area. To me, this has just felt the easiest, and it makes sense for me to do. You play the Ranger for 90 seconds, and it gets you 2 support gems, the bow and the quiver, and then you're immediately playing the bow play style. So for my League Start guide, I am probably having the opener be, you go play a Ranger first, you get a bow, a quiver, Lightning Arrow, Lightning Rod, you stash it, and then you go make your Warbringer. Because the quality of life that does for the opener, you're basically either playing maces for a while, or you have to hope you get lucky with some drops off of Miller. And I feel like this is just, like, the easiest way to, get everyone immediately into the bow play style. I don't know how the average PoE 2 player feels about Muling. I'm curious what your guys' thoughts in chat. Like, when you think of Muling, if I was to tell you, you have to spend 90 seconds to 2 minutes getting a bow, a quiver, and Lightning Arrow, Lightning Rod, does that make you not want to play the build? I know this is common in PoE 1, but it hasn't been very common in PoE 2. I'm not saying no builds do it, but it's not very common. Now I'm curious your guys' thoughts. Muling is normal for me, never an issue. I did it, but I'm from PoE 1. I mean, I'm a PoE nerd, so I don't mind Muling. Yeah, that's what I'm, curious about. Most PoE 1 players I've talked to, they're like, yeah, I mean, this makes complete sense. Of course, yeah, I'm down to do that, for sure. But I'm curious what your average PoE 1 normie feels about it. Or PoE 2 normie, excuse me. How do you get the bow on League Start? Is it SSF viable? It depends on if the ritual is farmable. It doesn't look like it will be. If it's solo self-found, there's no way to easily farm it, unless ritual in Freythorn is farmable. You gotta play Trade League. I am not your normal content creator that does I don't want to say normal, but for me, when I do a League starter, I'm doing something fun and new, and it's not your traditional League starter that's guaranteed to the ease of access and whatnot, you know. So a lot of my builds are rarely solo self-found friendly. They're often, I do weird shit with the uniques and stuff. This is an annoying ass fight. crazy she can warp while she's stunned. I hate when anytime she has extra energy shield, it's always scary. Because she's so beefy with the energy shield, and anytime it regens for even a second, it's like, ah. Ooh, we got a storm worm from that. And a tense crossbow. The crossbow's nice because, depending on how we're doing the league starter, we might be using a crossbow. Ooh, we actually got a good crossbow, too. We might be using the crossbow and weapon set, too. For armor break early on. Let me look at my MOBA. I've been playing supporting fire lately, prepping for it, and I forgot all the items, all the skills I wanted to grab. Okay. Back up. What will be the best minion build in this league? I have no idea about minion builds, to be honest, man. Especially with, like, all the minion splash, melee, and, like, we're getting minion melee splash supports and minion rage supports. So, like, those two changes alone are, like, kind of unpredictable for how they'll be in the meta. Could be really good, or it could be dog ass, so you never know. But I'm, like, in general, not a minion main. Is Bulletstorm revived in 0.5? I mean, I have no idea. Not from what I've seen, but... You can upgrade this base type with Runeforging? Yep. And they confirmed you can upgrade it in the campaign. In Act 3, specifically, you will get access to upgrading uniques. So, yeah. Are you just going to use a normal bow before Act 4? You can't use the market. So people very, very frequently misunderstand the changes to trade. First of all, you do not need to be in Act 4 to use async trade. You need to have Act 4 to unlock Ainge so you can sell your stuff in Act 4, in async trade. You can use other people's async trade whether you've unlocked it or not. So when the blasters are in Act 4 in the first, like, 30 minutes, they're going to have async trade, and you'll be able to buy from them very early on. But also, the old trade system still exists. Async trade didn't get rid of old trade. People still use the old trade system, especially on the first, like, 12 hours of league start. There will definitely be people, this lady was just so fucking thick, I'm skipping her. I mean, but you still have the old trade system, so you don't even need to wait for async trade. Just whisper message people. Like, we still have the old trade system, so... Oh, the bow's been on the screen the whole time? I'm sorry, you guys. I can't believe no one said anything. I've been running around clearing stuff with that bow on the screen this whole time. I mean, yeah, like, hopefully it's cheap. I assume it's gonna be cheap. Like, day 1 and 2, it'll be cheap. The only time it'll be expensive is if it is an Ezomite unique where you can capture one of the root. Did you? I must have missed it. But the only way it's not cheap is if it is an Ezomite unique and people are trying to capture the effect on it with one of the Kalguran rune things, and people are just buying all of them out to, like, and just spamming that effect on it to try and fish for the effect. Like, that is the only world where it gets expensive, but that wouldn't be like a launch day thing. That'd be like, you know, at least day 2 or day 3. Sorry, there's a lot more messages right now than I was expecting. And I'm having to read a lot between both YouTube and Twitch. Did I get the, no, I didn't get the way. Oh, I did get the waypoint. No, not, I got the wrong waypoint. Which waypoint is that? Is that the entrance where I came in at? I think it's just genetics. Ooh, look at that. Lucky early iron ring. I think it's just genetics. Joe, you gotta get lucky. You gotta get lucky rolls on birth. You just have to have a strong base, you know?
I remember this place.
Sure, do maces before you get the bow. You're absolutely fine. There's a billion ways you can level until you get the bow. And you don't even need to swap to the bow in the early act. You can swap to the bow, like, the ideal time to swap to the bow is probably in Act 3, when you get rear guard. So, you can play maces until you have rear guard if you wanted to, you know. I've been playing too much supporting fire. Thought about picking up that rattling scepter. I gotta get my brain around the bow build. If I miss one of your questions, guys, feel free to re-ask it. Ooh, we got a good short bow. Well, wasn't a good one, but we got a short bow. I'm gonna play away with like every possible thing we can with the build, Mithrix. This is, I'm gonna be like pushing this build with every skill and as much as we can. I will try so many different interactions. What is Bowbringer? It's bow on a Warbringer. The warrior has an Ascendancy called Warbringer. It's not normally known for bow builds, but this is a unique situation where we're playing a bow Warbringer. But there's the short bow one. Oof. What endgame skill are you going to use? I mean, the hope is Spiral Volley and Snipe. But I'm going to test every, like, because the return mechanic is just so interesting and we don't know how it interacts with, like, all of these skills, like, without using, like, cringe shit, like, double pierce from that one quiver. Like, and because I just never played with this kind of setup before in general, I'm going to be testing, like, every possible skill. People are negative rarity farming in the campaign. Hey, what's up, Zeph? Sorry, guys. I'm not used to having this many commenters between YouTube and Twitch. If I miss your question, don't... Ooh, I've gotten double Iron Ring this early. What the fuck? If I missed your question or what you said, don't be afraid to re-ask it. Is there a world, in your opinion, that a Gemling Legionnaire League start is good without knowing what gems are good? Yeah. If your world is fun first, then yes. In that world, that sounds like a wonderful League start to me, doesn't it? Normally, to me, fun first is what I do. I've done dumb, trash League starts before, just because they look fun. So, if this endgame wasn't specifically the endgame overhaul, and I wasn't wanting to do a build that could just experience the entire endgame, got short bow crazy drops. I would be doing Gemling League start for sure. Or supporting Fire Tactician League start.
I need more time. I'm not ready.
I'm sorry, Chef. Yeah, I stream on both YouTube and Twitch, so, like, it's whichever preference you have. I don't know why YouTube chat's being weird for you.
Stay safe if you can. Hello. I like to hold on.
Yeah, so today I'm just kind of, like, trying to get a feel for a deep campaign run. Just because I've only played bows once. So...
collected these over
there's going to
time.
be a lot of learning.
What do you think? It's beautiful. Thanks.
Which is kind of funny. It's different from the supporting fire practice I was just doing to re-update the guide because much more experience in that build, but this build just completely blind. Hey, appreciate you, Shaft. Thanks for the prime, man. Are they still going to do daily teaser things? You think? I don't know. I don't know. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. How you doing, Krusty? Hope you're doing well, man. Yeah, to me, my feeling about Chronomancer right now is they didn't take a big enough swing. Did I turn into things? I didn't. Like, time stop should be like a 30-second skill compared to like how a lot of these Ascendancies play. Like, I think just Chronomancer is too safe. I haven't played with it yet though. It could just be on paper really busted on like how it is, but like to me, it just needs to be crazy, and they don't like go crazy with it. What skills might I use for endgame? I mean, Ice Shot is the obvious one because of all the projectiles returning. But like, I'm gonna test every skill. My hope is Spiral Volley and Snipe are the core skills by endgame, just because those are my favorite skills of the bow archetype. But Ice Shot is probably going to be what you're using. Like, you're gonna level as Lightning Arrow because you just kind of have to. Even with the early game Pierce, like, even if you get the early game return mechanic working, Like, you're still probably going to be using a lightning arrow. But then you're going to swap the ice shot whenever you get ice shot. And that's really when the build's going to come online, because you also get rear guard then in your next Ascendancy point. So you'll just start doing really good damage. And in Act 3 is when you get to upgrade the bow. So, like, Act 3 is when a lot's going to come online. And then you're probably playing ice shot for, like, a lot of the rest of the campaign and early maps. But it's just, like, all kind of speculation, because it's such a unique bow with such a uniquely set up effect that it's, like, so hard to, like, actually know. But I'm also, you know, but I'm also getting new to bows, so there could be some, like, really obvious things. But to me, ice shot seems like the obvious one.
Goodbye.
I talked to her, I did. What kind of campaign players are you guys? Like, you know, I like practicing, like, the campaign and, like, trying to get faster at it, but I never do, like, the layout learning stuff. I don't really, like, try to get that good at running the campaign. But for me on League Start, especially with, like, all the campaign changes, but, like, I don't full clear every zone, but I full clear every mechanic in each zone. So, like, I always try and hit, like, every, like, if there's, like, you know, when you hit the map, and you see all of the little icons for the things that need to be cleared, I full clear those no matter what. Even though oftentimes some of them are skippable in the campaign. What about you guys? How do you guys approach the campaign? Are you like speedrunners trying to get through it as fast as possible? Like, is your goal, like, get to the end game as fast as possible? Is that when the game starts for you? For this league, start rushing the Trial of Sekima? I mean, in general, I always rush for Trial of Sekima. Like, I know some people, like, will skip Babala and they'll do the twins and, like, get their Ascendancy at 28, but, like, I'm consistently getting my first Ascendancy points on every character I play, like, pre-level 20. Like, the moment I can do my Ascendancy trial, I do it. And that's usually, depends on, like, how over or under-leveled I am, but usually, like, 19 or 20. But I've done it as early as 17, I think. I like doing trial at the end of Act 2. A lot of people like to do it at the end of Act 2, but to me, I do it right away. But once you've, like, done Thorn Sekimas, Sanctum's just easy. It's just, like, it's so easy. Once you've, like, dealt with playing that, as Thorns. I wanted to kill old boy. But where is he? You do it the second you can, that's how I am. I do it the second I can. Every time. But I like what the Ascendancy gives to you, you know? Like, to me, a lot of the time... What do you mean you can skip Babala? Yeah, you can skip Babala. If you skip Babala, there is the twins and Jashar. It's the two bird rares. They drop a Jin Barya. So, if you skip Babala, you can kill those dudes and do your Ascendancy trial with that instead.
Quite venomous. Getting through it.
Yeah, you don't have to free her to unlock the trial. That's just the earliest point you can. But it is optional content. I always do her. Poor phrasing.
I'm not ready.
Damn, I am getting short bows like crazy, and I can't craft on any of them. Holy, doing Babala is crazy work. Alright, guys.
Quickly! My family has been abducted!
Alright. Yeah, and for me on League Start, because I don't know how the new League mechanic is going to work when you get to Act 3 for the unique upgrading, let's say interacting with the League mechanic gives you a resource, like those currencies we saw that was costing the upgrade, right? And I get to Act 3 to upgrade Warden Bow, and I don't have enough of the currency because I skipped the League mechanic in a few of the zones. So it's like, part of me thinks that I'm probably just going to make sure I clear the League mechanic in every zone, just so when I get to Act 3, I have the best odds of being able to upgrade the bow. But I also just want to, like, interact with the League mechanic as much as possible on my first playthrough, right? So...
Nowhere to keep that.
Feel my wrath!
I've nowhere to keep that.
Yeah, I mean, yes. It just makes sense. You know, if you need gear... I mean, look at Temple this league, you know. It's worth doing the Temple in the campaign, because when you run it, you're getting... I mean, usually, I get a lot of loot from it. Or a lot of gear upgrades from it, rather. Multiple Regals, multiple Exiles. We do have a Thorns Discord, by the way. If you type !Discord in the YouTube chat, Nithrix, it should link the Discord invite. Oh, there's the mausoleum. I found them both, okay. And in the Discord, in the Thorns Discord is basically an off-meta Discord at this point. But we have a channel for this build that I'm League starting in there. So if you're League starting the Ironbound Warbringer, we have an entire chat in there of like just people who are talking about the build, so...
This place has not been abandoned.
Will best you!
we go. Not the best bow. Oh, guess we can do that.
A carry soul for my collection. You shall die slowly.
I need more time.
Cut down. These spirits are mine. Succumb to the Empire.
I can't yet.
Your soul is mine.
Out of range.
Your soul is mine. Rend your soul. Your meaningless life ends now. Rend your soul. Succumb to the Empire. Your meaningless life ends now. The Eternals will...
At your request.
Your name has long been maligned in Ogem Draven. This was my pleasure.
Appreciate you, Iron. Hope you're doing well, man. Do we run any persistent buffs on supporting fire? No. You can. Like, I guess like, you could if you wanted to use, I forget the name of the support gem. It gives you, like, minion damage if you've, like, if you're not at full mana or something. Or if you're not on low mana. I forget how it works. You could use a persistent gem to get that support gem into it, but usually you're just spending as much spirit as you can to get as many minions as possible, and then you want to get in, if you can, Blasphemy with Temporal Chains, just as a defensive layer, and you'll be, like, really tanky then.
I will put the Eternals back in their graves.
Yeah, I think I talk about it a little bit. I think I'm as hyped about all the potential changes for the campaign. As I am the endgame. Like, there's so much good changes for the campaign. Yeah, it's the Thorns Discord, but we had to make a specific channel for discussing Thorns because the main general chat is just so full of just general chat about the game and random builds and stuff. So, like, at this point, I've been promoting it as an off-meta Discord, despite being, like, originally being the Thorns Discord, you know? There's just a lot of build creators in there. Not just, like, content creators. There is content creators like Funky Chicken and stuff in there. But just like, you know, people who don't make content, that just like to talk about fun builds and their fun ideas and stuff. Another short bow. So many short bows dropping. Yeah, whenever you're at Jamin-Ra, the first time of Thorns, it's a very enjoyable experience. Thorns is S-tier fun. S-tier fun. To be funny, like, to be honest, like, the Dreadnought change, I might be the only one that dislikes it. I actually like Dreadnought 1 and 2. I thought the Dreadnought was awesome. It was, like, one of my favorite parts of the campaign, and, like, the fact that it was 2 parts, it made it feel like the end of the campaign was kind of epic. You were, like, in the middle of this fucking battle. And you actually had to fight your way through it. Not just one zone, but 2. Like, I weirdly liked... Hey, what's up, Skadoosh? I weirdly liked the 2 parts of Dreadnought. Like, of any zone to be cut, you know, I guess, like, Dreadnought is the one you could, functionally. because it is a zone spread across 2, but to me, and like, it always felt like that lead up to Jamin-Ra was like this battle. And I always liked that a lot. Like, to me, if you're gonna cut anything, get rid of Malaysian waterways. Like, cut that fucking shit. Get that thing out of the game. Which build? The Ironbound build?
Face me!
Hell yeah, dude. Send it, man. Ironbound is going to be cool, and Titan was high on my list of things to test with it, so I think you could have a lot of fun with it on Titan. Yes. Resonance helps a lot, so yeah. And we do not know how expensive the Flesh Crucible will be for it. So you either have to trek over here to get it, which is feasible, but because Flesh Crucibles... Well, A, Resonance is just a popular Flesh Crucible to get, and we don't know if it's going to be more popular this patch. And then B, Temple is going to be less farm. So we don't know if a Flesh Crucible for Resonance is just going to be like, you know, a 500 Divine item because nobody's farming Temple, and it's also a valuable one, so... It's one of my concerns is my endgame tree. I do end up pathing over here for Resonance because I don't know how expensive it's gonna be. I do think that I am weirdly excited to farm Temple because I barely played any Temple this league, and I think it's gonna be very profitable. There's just so much good shit from Temple that... And I imagine not many juicers are going to be in it that were spamming it this patch specifically.
Song, Asinia. Your end will be too.
I need boots. Both of those sound good. Yeah, I mean, before we got, like, any new stuff, I was leading a Whirling Assault build. So, like, Whirling Assault Titan can... I mean, that's the fun thing about, like, just league starting any of the warriors, is they can transition into so many different builds, so... And Whirling Assault Titan is just a S-tier league starter. Just because it's got so much flexibility, so I like that opener. Though the Concoction Pathfinder sounds freaking awesome. That sounds super cool.
Yes.
That sounds super cool. Hey, what's up, Bricky? There's so much to play for only one league start for now. I mean, yeah.
I've collected these over
Luckily, this is the first time I haven't had build fever going into a league. Like, I'm locked in on Ironbound Warbringer because, like, for some reason, my brain just keeps telling me... My brain keeps telling me that, this is going to be a long league, and we're going to get these weird resets. So, I just know I'm going to have enough time to play every build. So I'm not, like, stressing it, you know? Like,
Till next time.
at some point, I'm gonna have played so much. Free nimmies and 75% block. It's what I'm hyped about. Like, if you look at my guys, let me get my ninja up. Give me a sec. So this is the bow, right? And it's got basically Nimi's effect built into it if you pierce an armor broken target, which we have tested in the campaign and like throughout multiple characters. Ice Shot will pierce an armor broken target on the first shot that hits, and all the shots will return. So it's really cool on a Warbringer that this is the bow we're using, but in my mobilytics, what I'm most excited about is this possibility here, which is my EV swap late game. You are able to reach 75% block without armor stacking. So to me, defensively, we're going, like, I've never played block evasion before, and we're getting the new deflection buffs. So we're going to have 75% block chance, 80+% evasion rating, like a fuckload of deflection rating with the new deflection formula. We're going to have 2100 plus life, and we're going to run ward beneath it as well. I've never played 75% block with evasion rating and deflection. That just sounds fun to me as a defensive layer. Through a majority of the game, because of how the bow works, that's not the bow, this is the bow. Because of how the bow works, you're going to be armor stacking, because armor stacking is going to be the easiest way to, like, armor stacking gives you both block and damage, so you're just going to be armor stacking for the most of it. But when you get to late game with this bow, we have the possibility of a really cool setup evasion stacking. Hyrizire got a slight evasion nerf, but from my understanding, like, it's the same as a Brass Dome, where, like, it maths out to where it'll be fine. You think you're on the Ironbound train? I would love anybody to league start it with me. I'm encouraging many. It's going to be fun. At worst, it is going to be a fun thing that clears almost all of the game. But the math we've done in the Thorns Discord, we're pretty confident it's going to be like not a mirror tier bow, but it's going to be good enough to like clear everything in the current game for sure. And yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Well, if we don't play Hyries, we can still get a high evasion rating without Hyries, so. Like, the evasion stuff is still going to be fine. Worst case, we don't play Hyries, you know. But we could still get 80+% without it. The main reason we slotted in Hyries is because it was giving us extra damage, which that did get nerfed in the patch. But, like, with leveling, you can very easily get block cap with rear guard and Legion Stride. Where's Legion Stride? I got it mentioned someplace in the guide. I need to fully update the guide. I've been working on supporting Fire the last week, so I haven't really touched this build. Oh, I don't mention Legion Stride. Legion Stride are boots with block. They don't have move speed, though, so they kind of suck, but I don't know. It's going to be fun. It's going to be really fun. Will it be an S-tier build? We don't know. It's hard to predict those things, especially with weird mechanics like this. But, yeah. That's what we're practicing for now. Here's my mobilytics, so if you're considering league starting it, give it a follow. Or a favorite, or a like, or whatever you want to call it. No, I don't think we'd go evasion stacking into Iron Reflexes. If we were to do Iron Reflexes, it's funny thing about Iron Reflexes, it's better to armor stack with Iron Reflexes than evasion stack. And you just like only use the evasion stacking portion for the gloves cheese, and then from gloves, because you can get or not gloves, rings, because you can get evasion on rings, but you can't get armor on rings. So we don't know Erewhon if Overblock does anything. I have not taken Overblock into account in like any of my calculations or hyping up of the build because it's such an unknown. Like if Overblock percentages does scale it, then that's like fucking insane for the build. But it's just something we don't know. The assumption is no, Overblock percentage will not scale it. By the way, for the people that normally watch my stream, I tried to change the settings in OBS to get the quality better. Does the quality look better than it normally does on Twitch? Or is it still, like, poop quality? Oops, I didn't mean to click that there.
I'm not ready.
Hunt with the first ones, old man.
Quality seems better when going source. Yeah, okay. Cool. Noob streamer. Ooh, move speed boots. Oh, I already had move speed boots, and these ones have fire res. Yeah, like there's a chance that like while the block cap is 75% for block, you know, if you overblock cap, would that scale the bow's damage is the question.
I am spirits or help. You pay them a visit.
I mean, the ambo would be cool for sure, but like I assume nothing like that will be what you're extracting as a mechanic. I assume 99% of build, especially with a bow build, whatever legendary effect we are extracting is going to be something that just giga increases my damage. I don't see most people using the legendary extraction stuff, or the unique extraction stuff, to just get like block damage or something, or block chance, right? Like while you could, I think most people are going to be looking for like really overpowered shit when doing it. Something that just like giga dumps, like increases your damage and shit.
Till next time.
Should be the last beacon.
God damn it. I didn't want to fight a boss. I'm leaving. Fuck this boss. I got places to be. That's not how Warbringer works. Warbringer cannot go over 75% block. Turtle Charm sets your block to 75% hard stop. It makes your block chance 75%. No modifiers influence it up or down at that point. It just becomes the number 75 permanently. So any at maximum block chance for Warbringer does literally nothing.
ready.
What is happening? Got a fucking temporal bubble with an elemental resistance or a rare. Some bullshit.
I'm not ready.
My satchel is full.
But yeah, Warbringer has the highest possible block chance in the game. It is 75%. Nobody can get higher. Titan can get to 72% with a bunch of investment into block chance. But it requires them to get a bunch of passives and like the anvil and stuff, which if you're using the anvil, you're not using a
There are far more of them than I expected.
you're not using a rare amulet that has +3 projectile skills and a bunch of other goodies on it, right? You're using the anvil, which comes with reduced skill speed and that's right, like reduced skill speed and reduced movement speed or something. Like anvil fucking sucks to wear, right? Like that's what you're forced to use as a Titan to reach a similar block. Warbringer just puts your block at 75%, so it's just a massive W from that perspective. No investment needed. But if you had like the passive like this, where it increases your maximum block chance by 4% on a Warbringer, it doesn't increase Warbringer 75%. Because it's a hard lock at 75. So these are useless on Warbringer. They do nothing.
Is that what's been eating our cattle?
Right, I mean, yes, you could do that in theory on a Titan. And Titan might be, like, comparable to Warbringer, but in order to get even close to the amount of block chance that a Warbringer has, just from taking its Ascendancy, you have to get a lot of stuff on the tree and the end. Extracting it would definitely help, but even at that point, though, they still don't hit the same percentage that Warbringer can. The only world where I see, like, Titan specifically just having, like, a huge edge over Warbringer is if you can use the anvil's, like, you can extract the anvil block chance, and then you can put it into, like, something else on your gear that double dips it, to where you're over Warbringer's cap. If we're just strictly talking about the block scaling portion of it, you know. Hey, what's up, Protag? How are you doing, man?
One less danger to threaten our...
Hey, what's up, Fire Snipe? How you doing? Where's my guide? Still got the hype going? Oh yeah, I'm giga hyped. I cannot wait for launch. I'm glad I finally finished updating the supporting fire character. I've been like grinding that league start for like a week plus now. So I'm happy I've got that fully updated for league start. It's probably going to be my second character. I'm league starting this build for sure still. And then I'm going to play a supporting fire tactician as my second character, and then eventually swap it to a gemling to play with new gemling stuff. In my current plans. How you feeling, Protag? You got any clue on what you're playing after the notes? Bowbringer hype, yep. Yep. Yeah, I mean, I always say this, the first round of patch notes are like a summary of the reveal stream with like fake teasers in it. Like, the real patch notes is the data mining. Real patch notes are the data mining. That's what I assume Protag meant by that. That's when we get the real information. You know, when we actually learn how the 30+ support gems they listed worked, and you know.
That voice. What sinister shadow lurks here? Need mana.
Saw people on PoE Ninja using Malice Scepter and sacking minion crit for damage. It's okay. I've done that before. Especially, it works really well with the Adorn setup, but in my opinion, if you're not like giga investing into it, it's not as good as just like a normal strength, or like a tribute stacking setup. But they are like fixing interactions with Malice Scepter in this patch, and I don't know if that's going to affect supporting fire minion interaction. That Malice Scepter, like, crit tech has been abused for, like, since 0.1, I think. I've been using it since 0.2. And I don't know if it was influencing supporting fire. It might not have been. But if it was, then that would be a big L for those builds, for sure. I mean, 50% block is still really good, but it's not 75%. That's 25% more additional scaling, and if you can double dip the effect, because it's likely an Ezomite unique, so if you can capture the effect and then put it into another Ironbound bow, that 75% of damage from block is now 150%, which just makes it an absurd bow. But then also keep in mind that depending on how you're playing, like, how are you going to solve Armor Break? If you're using Armor Break 3, which a lot of people probably would, that's a support gem that the Warbringer doesn't have to use. And then, of course, Warbringer has the benefit of elemental damage, benefiting from Armor Break. So when you're using something like specifically Ice Shot, which does a lot of elemental damage, you still need to be Armor Breaking for the effect to pierce. But with a lot of those bow skills, you're not getting any benefit from that Armor Break. Warbringer double dips on that effect, and then doesn't have to waste a support gem on Armor Break. So it's a lot of, like, it's not like, you know, I'm not saying the bow can't work on other Ascendancies, and I'm not saying there isn't going to be something cool that can't be done at the 50% block or with, like, other skills and other Ascendancies, but it is, like, the math and, like, just design of the bow. For 98% of your journey, it is going to be efficiently better in terms of DPS and playstyle on a Warbringer. Just, like, automating Armor Break, the elemental damage applying to Armor Break, and then the 75% block cap requiring no investment to get your block cap higher is just, that's a lot you're getting. But we're talking about, like, of course, you know, in the min-max, we're level 95 plus, you know, we've already league started something else and we're swapping to, like, this on something else, then yes, like, there's an argument to be made that something comparable can happen, but there are scenarios, like I mentioned, where if you can capture this bow as an Ezomite unique, and you can double dip on the blocks converted to damage stuff, that's 150% block rating as added damage. that's huge, you know? That's not, like... If that is a scenario that exists, which we don't know, that makes Warbringer the clear and away winner. Like, there's no debate then. But that's, you know, pure speculation. We do not know if you can do that kind of thing, right? If you don't know what I mean, so like, let's say Briar Patch boots. They have thorns crit on them. And they are a Ezomite unique you can capture. And let's say you do the arena effect and you capture the thorns crit on it. Can you then get another Briar Patch boots and put that thorns crit rune into Briar Patch boots, getting, you know, essentially a fuckload of thorns crit from it, right? That's the premise. Like, can you double dip? We do not know if you can double dip. If you can, there is, like, in my mind, no debate around Warbringer being the best. Because with this effect here, let me get it on screen. With this effect here, hits with this weapon have 1 to 4 added physical damage per 1% block chance. That already makes the bow really good DPS when you take it, the upgrading of the base from the upgrading rune system, and then just 150% block rating instead of 75% is fucking, you know, in that world, it is, like, undeniable. Double dipping Ezomite rune sounds wrong. I agree, but you might be surprised how many people assume we can double dip. Like, I feel like more people assume you're going to be able to double dip it than not. I genuinely have no idea if GGG has considered that as a balance point, if it's going to work that way at all. There are some, they said they're being really picky and choosy over which mechanics can be yoinked. So, it's possible that any that are double dippable that would break the game aren't even scoopable, you know? We have no idea how it works. It's pure speculation. But in that world, you know, Warbringer is... It's tough to beat that argument. And then in the world where overblock percent, if overblock percent does contribute to DPS, which I think, and this is the inverse, where everyone thinks it's not going to work that way, which I agree. But if overblock percent chance does work, then Warbringer starting at 75% would be able to get up to, like, you know, 90%. Like, I mean, there is an argument that maybe GGG is not worried about double dipping because, like, you're giving up a rune slot for that. And you only get, like, my assumption is you can only get one of these at a time. So it's not going to be wearing, like, 100 of them, right? But who knows, man? There's so many questions that, like, there's so many question marks around the system.
I must destroy this before it goes any.
Blood Mage Scattering Calamity. Which one's Scattering Calamity? Is that the build that we showcased of yours on the podcast with the staff? The Abyss staff or whatever? Hey, what's up, Skippy? I'm very stoked on 0.5. Damn, the monk video looked neat? Yeah. Hey, man, in your supporting fire build, are there any modifications for 0.5? Appreciate all your builds. Yeah, I posted a video today about supporting fire. I have, like, the last week I was doing practice runs with it to get it updated for the patch. It is as updated as it can be right now for the patch without having the new passive trees. Once we have the passive tree, I'll update it again, and I'm hoping to have a .build file ready for it on launch 2. I am not league starting it, but I have done everything I can to, like, update supporting fire for the patch. And I'll be, like, updating it throughout the patch and league starting it, or playing it earlier on in the league, for sure. We have no idea if armor stacking EV or armor EV is going to be the better defensive layer. So that's like the biggest question mark. But in terms of like damage and how you level, that shouldn't change. And it got like buffs in lots of ways. So supporting fire is in a solid spot in my opinion. We'll try Herald of Ash this run.
Flame of the Forge.
Yeah. You're thinking about League starting that in 1.0? Is that what you meant by next League?
Hello. I like to hold on to bits and pieces. It's beautiful.
We can hold the blank one still, I guess.
Except Finn makes fun of my collection. That might save your life. It seems shadows.
How can I help? Oh, that'll pack a punch. If you find a fight out there, do it quickly.
Okay, I need to remember to put more in the decks. Less in the ends, I guess. Cool. If I get the bow and Thorn, I'll be gracious and sell it for 10 divine. Listen, I know you're memeing, but if you do get it, I will happily buy it off of you. I'm not going to take handouts, but like, you know, I'm expecting to spend 1 to 2 chaos for it on launch. Like, I'm going to be trying to buy the first ones that get on sale. I'm going to have a live surge up, and yeah, I'm going to be aggressively trying to buy one, so. I'm hopefully going to be leveling with it as soon as possible, but if I don't get it until, like, Act 2, I'm okay with that, because in reality, you're not really going to be playing the bow with its full effect until closer to Act 3, so... And probably, like, in the beginning of Act 3, so... You know. If I'm playing with a normal bow until Act 3, I'll be fine, because really, the bow's not going to have its full potential until you're in Act 3 with rear guard, and all the armor break stuff, the armor break pierce stuff, and it's upgraded with the new rune system, so... I don't know, a lot of people are on the train, and I'm kind of on it too, that Freythorn's not going to have uniques to farm. But we'll have to see. Where the fuck is her hut? Okay, the bow, it's yours. I'll happily buy it from you for sure, but yeah, I appreciate it. I assume that the odds of anyone I know getting the bow before I can buy one is going to be absurdly low. And again, I'm not worried about the bow. 99% of people, when that bow drops, have no interest in it. If you are not league smarting a Warbringer, the odds of you using it during the campaign seems very low. Cut on the left on the other side of the wall. Over here someplace? I don't think it's one of these huts. Oh. Temple. It was like right by the entrance. It was like literally 2 feet from the entrance. Rip me.
I can put right one thing, at least.
Okay, now we path. I forget how we path to it. Let me check my guide. Through here, okay. Oh yeah, I saw the dodge crit change thing, yeah. Definitely, you know, a win, for sure. Well, yeah, for sure, last one. Selling anything spear related, especially twister ones. Like, this is going to be another fantastic league of farming, of negative rarity farming. I imagine early on, I will be keeping an eye on what Prada is doing with negative rarity and hopping on whatever meta he is up to. I very much enjoy negative rarity farming. You can make an absurd amount of currency selling bases. And you actually learn a lot while you're doing it.
They've burned it all!
Whatever.
Lightning. This place has taken a beating. It glows.
I don't know,
Beacons
Blade.
outside.
It's baby steps with these type of things, you know. We got one win. Let's hope for another, you know.
The temple shifts beneath my feet. The temple opens before me.
Yeah, I'm hyped as fuck about this build. I'm hoping we can push it really far. Like, I want to, like, full clear every quest, obviously, duh. Oh, but, like, challenge, like, one thing we barely even talk about is we're getting challenges. Like, we're actually getting challenges, so. I don't have a rare bow. I need to get a regal. That's why I did this temple, so I could try and get a regal. Like, I'm excited about the challenge league. Those are gonna be super fun.
A fellow blacksmith. I'm not ready.
Well, I mean, the thing for me is, like, even with the tools we have, like, it's so easy to, like, one-shot, like, any boss with, like, the right setup, right? Like, I'm not even, like, concerned about using all the current tools we have. I want to know what we're able to break with the Kalguran stuff. Like, that's what bothers me most about what we... Like, we don't know anything about the new Kalguran uniques. Like... any of the support, or excuse me, the support gems, the skills, like, what if one of those is just fucking busted for scaling? Yeah, 23 new lineages. Like, think of how transformative and busted some of the current lineage gems we have. Please give me a Regal. Please give me a Regal. No Regal in this whole place. I can't put a... Like, this is my thing I hate the most about solo self-found, is if you want Regal orbs to be able to Regal your gear, you have to just be a fucking slave to disenchanting. You have to pick up every single rare and disenchant them. And I just fucking hate doing that. That is so boring. I cleared this whole place and got no Regals. I got Exalts that I can't put on my weapon because I can't Regal it. So it's going on like a ring. I want to get the face breaker, but everyone's probably going to pump up the price. The face, so I don't have concerns with Ironbound, but if you're someone who wants to play face breakers on start, that's a different question. That's a different scenario. I cannot promise that, like, any other unique, I'm sure is going to be affordable within the first few hours, but I could see face breakers expensive for, like, the first 24 hours. Until people are, like, farming ritual and getting like crazy. What tier unique was face breakers in PoE 1? I don't know. I got no clue. Face breakers will be Fraythorn's armable. We don't know if Fraythorn will be farmable, though. The patch notes kind of allude to the fact that it might not be. Like, it's still ambiguous, but we still don't know. My assumption is Facebreaker will be common as fuck, but it is like the first day it will be expensive. Just because there's no way it can't be common because it's designed to be a leveling unique, right? If Wraiththorn is farmable, then of course that makes everything a lot easier to manage, you know. We don't know if Wraiththorn is farmable at this point. Like, we didn't know when I made that video. It was a speculation video, of course. But now it's like less, you know, it's almost points towards it's not going to be farmable, but we don't know still. We got pretty good damage.
For what you've done. No mana.
That's what I was wondering, Bobby. Is like, if you get face breakers late, like, how do you do that? Do you have to go through the campaign and just like hunt down every boss you've missed? Like, what happens if you get it at level 30? Yo, that's like the main reason why I'm not interested in League starting it, because there's that big question mark around it where it's like, that sounds awful to have to backtrack.
At least.
Yeah, and expensive, you know. It'll be like, some idiots will list it for a divine initially, and it'll be selling on average for a few chaos, or like, you know, 15 to 20 exalted orbs for the first day. But in terms of survivability, is the Bowbringer or supporting fire better? I mean, we don't know. We don't know. Like, supporting fire is tanky, but supporting fire doesn't have the best DPS in terms of boss kills. So, like, oftentimes the best defense is a good offense. If you one-shot bosses, then, you know, that's a lot safer than something that takes, you know, 45 seconds to kill a boss. In terms of mapping, supporting fire is insanely safe because you can clear a screen and a half away. and it is very tanky on default, but the Bowbringer could also be just absurdly hard to kill in terms of, like, getting hits, but then also have, like, one-shot boss potential. So the supporting fire build is definitely a tanky and safe build. I've cleared hardcore with it, so if a bum like me can do hardcore with it, it's a good build for, like, in terms of survivability. But I would say supporting fire tactician is safer for most of the journey, but I could be underestimating the potential of this build, you know? It might just have insane DPS, and then, of course, I hype up the defensive of this build a lot. I'm really hyped about the block and evasion stuff. So I can't honestly answer you. Supporting fire is not an S-tier build. Supporting fire is a cozy and safe and fun league starter, but it's not like it's one of the most meta builds on the planet. It's like a B-tier build, maybe an A-tier build at best. It's got really good clear. It's got really good campaign leveling. It's going to be one of the most relaxing leveling builds you'll play. It can clear, like, a lot of the end game, but, like, it is by no means, an S-tier, best-performing build. So it's cozy. It's a cozy league starter. And it's cheap. It's a relatively cheap build. Because I've done it in Solo Self-Found, right?
Geonor must be made to answer for his crimes.
But also, you know, supporting fire got some serious buff this patch. Its damage could be a lot better now, so that could be a non-issue at this point, you know? I would say, like, the supporting fire is definitely the safer of the league starts because it's a tried and tested build. Plenty of people played supporting fire in 0.4. I played that build like 5 different times, maybe more. Like, a lot more if you include all the league start runs I did. But, like, it's not like it's a build that's untested and is going to just get, like, unless something game-breaking, like, happens, it's going to work. Versus, like, there's so much unknowns with this build that, like, this one's, like, you know, playing a weird off-meta new thing on League Start is always a gamble. Always a gamble. Sorry. I guess Spelldom will be the new meta.
First ones.
I have been saying to everyone that I think by the end of week 2, the amount of people playing Shaman and Infernalist will have raised to near the top, and it's specifically because of Spell Totem builds. I think Spirit stacking Totem builds were already good and fun in this patch. And the buff they got was fucking awesome. I think you're going to see a lot of people playing Totem builds, specifically on Infernalist and Shaman. Now, there could be, like, other Ascendancies it's good on, too, but based off of 0.4, the best way you were playing the Spirit stacking Totem builds was on Shaman or Infernalist because they had the best way to scale additional Spirit. And if you're somebody who wants to drop, like, 7 spell totems, you know, Shaman has 120% base, like, flat Spirit that gets added by it. And then Infernalist has scale, Spirit scaling too, so. Spell Totem as your starter, not sure if going Druid or Witch Ascendancy. I think, you're going to be in for a good time. I think you're gonna be in for a good time. Invoker's decent too. Invoker's decent too. I don't know. Well, I don't know if Invoker actually works with that though, because I don't think maybe it does, but I'm guessing Invoker's res efficiency doesn't work with the totem node. If it does, then it's a good option for sure. But my gut tells me that it wouldn't. But I'm not a monk player, so I have never tried. I could be sounding very foolish right now. I just tried Bear, and it's kind of slow up the slams. I mean, everything is kind of slow initially if you don't build it right. Bear Druid is a pretty solid leveling build. I don't know if you're following any guide. But, like, supporting fire is giga cozy. If you want, like, the Act 1 to Act, like, unlocking it is kind of whatever. But once you have supporting fire, it is a super chill build. Again, it's not the most OP build. I almost want to put it in B tier. Maybe C tier. Just in terms of, like, bossing. But in terms of, like, comfy and coziness and fun, it's, like, S tier. I mean, it's not bad. Like I said, I've cleared everything in the game with it. I've killed Uber Arbiter with it. It's just, like, a lot of people, when they go into Uber Arbiter, they want to one-shot him so they can't, like, they don't have to deal with, like, his mechanics. Supporting fire, you're getting, you know, a fight with Uber Arbiter. You're gonna have to, like, survive.
No news this time. I'll remove your head myself.
You are nothing but a tyrant.
First one's iron.
I'm really bad with lightning rod builds because, like, I don't know how to keep them. I'm, like, really bad at keeping them in the rod. I just gotta learn their attack patterns for how they're, like, stumbling around. Or, like, the one thing I hate the most is, like, when you stun them and they like get pushed out of lightning rods. And it's like I gotta be, like, more mindful of which bosses have, like, the weird knockbacks when they're stunned and position my iron, or excuse me, my lightning rods better for them.
You manipulative whore.
How dare you abandon me after all I've given you? You fucking simp. You cringe-ass simp.
I smell your blood. And I am ravenous. Requiem on high. Killing frost.
Stun him.
I will take out your heart. I need more time. And save
Don't phase. We got really lucky. Never seen him go this long without phasing.
Allow me to clear your
I mean, supporting fire tactician is a really good build. It's really fun. Like I have never had a build outside of, like, thorns where, like, it is like
Oriana.
people are like, can you update this for the patch? Can you update this for the patch? Can you update this patch? Usually with my off-meta builds, they're like novelties, right? They're like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's neat. But, like, it's not like you want to play that at the beginning of the next league. Supporting fire tactician is the first time that not the first, outside of thorns. But it's the first time I've had an actual good league start build. And people, like, I've just been getting too many requests to update it. So, like, I get why, like, it's a good build, and it's a fun build. So if you want to play it, fucking go for it. Got a recurve mode and a regal orb.
To Clearfell to make our preparations.
Minus the no additional minion skill or a projectile skill. That's a fucking stupid bow. Look how much physical damage it has. 42 to 79 versus my 12 to 20. Like, what a fucking jump. It's just missing proj skills, but it's got increased fizz, and added lightning. Sheesh! Sheesh!
We can... Here's what I've got. Go well.
I think...
Together, we will rebuild.
Shaman Thorns is actually elite. It's very good. Like, I was going to update my Shaman Thorns build for the patch, but there's just too many unknowns. I assume Shaman Thorns is fine, but because of the leech nerfs, I don't like... With supporting fire, right, I'm able to update it for the patch because it's virtually unchanged, and the buffs it's getting is, like, super obvious and easy to navigate around. But versus Thorns, it's like... Thorns could be played completely different defensively. Especially the new recoup nodes coming. We don't know how influential the new recoup nodes are going to be. So...
Move swiftly. Betrayal of corrupt. The Countess has escaped with the beast.
I'm hoping that Bleeding Thorns have some better avenues for build riding uniques, passives, and explicit extraction. I mean, yeah, like, Thorn just needs a lot more support in general for that kind of stuff. Bleed Thorns was already a thing. A lot of people were under the impression that Bleed Thorns didn't work. It was just that specific, like, modifiers weren't impacting Thorns when they should have. But plenty of things in the game did influence Bleed Thorns. But in general... Bleed Thorns is just a little bit awkward right now. It's just hard to scale bleed off of small hits without using Crimson Assault, and it's just awkward. It's just awkward, especially when you're taking into account Elemental Thorns damage. It's possible. So right now, like, I don't... Like, my second character is probably going to be the Supporting Fire Tactician, so I can, A, finalize the guide after getting to play through the new endgame with it, but B, I want to swap to a Gemling in endgame to play with a Gemling, but part of me is tempted. So we have the new Gemling stuff, right, where we're getting the additional quality for different gems. And my copium is that Scavenge Plating will have a Thorns benefit with Gemling that makes it more competitive with Shaman. Because right now, Shaman is like, you can go play Thorns Martial Artist. I'm thinking about doing it. I might have fun with it on a third or fourth character, but it's not going to be the best Thorns character. The best Thorns character, as long as Shaman exists in its current state, is always going to be Shaman. But if Scavenge Plating has something that scales off a quality that influences Thorns, then Gemling becomes a competitive option for Thorns. But Shaman Totem should be interesting now. I mean, yeah, like literally 10 minutes ago, I said that I'm expecting by week 2, the meta is highly influenced by Shaman Totem builds and Infernalist Totem builds. You're going to be seeing a lot of them. Because Shaman Totem builds were already kind of on the verge of being broken. And with this change, they're gonna be fucking crazy. And there's gonna be a lot of variety. Like, I'm sure in late game it's gonna be a bunch of people doing, like, Bone Storm to one-shot bosses, but I feel like you're gonna be able to fit more skills in for, like, you know, semi-less efficient variants than people realize. Correct, Clockbuster. Yes. I should have talked about that. Maybe I'll remember to... thank you for telling me that in the chat. I'll add that to the written guide. Yes. Supporting fire does not respect the rules of weapon lock. And you have to manually weapon swap yourself all the time with it. When I'm playing... I don't talk about it when I'm playing supporting fire at this point, because I've just gotten so used to doing it because of I've played supporting fire a fuckload at this point. But I am constantly hitting X to do my weapon swap button when playing supporting fire. Because when you go wolf form, right, you pounce in, you can cast supporting fire from it. Anytime you see me in wolf form, and you see me leave wolf form to cast supporting fire, I am actively forcing that swap. I need to make sure that's in the guide, so thank you for pointing that out. But yes, it is... That is how supporting fire like functions for me as well. There's something wrong with it, with weapon set locking, and you have to force yourself out. It's not as bad as you would think, because like you can use a skill to get yourself out of the wolf form, and there's a lot of skills that you might want to cast before supporting fire, like specifically if you're fighting a boss or something and you want to use supporting fire to damage it, you might be casting something like Thunderstorm beforehand to get shock up or something, right? Like, as long as you attach a skill that's like, I'm going to use this before I cast supporting fire, that's a way to force yourself out of it. But a lot of the time, you'll either just see me use supporting fire from wolf form, or you'll see me force myself out of it. Hopefully that gets fixed in the patch, but, you know. Does anyone at GGG play supporting fire? Who knows? Who knows? Unlikely. But who knows? I want the move speed. Yeah, it does. Supporting fire specifically doesn't respect the locking. I'm assuming it's a bug. The bug's been there since 0.2, by the way. 0.2.
Who goes there? Take your time. All right. You are battle ready. Sands guide you. I am a remain.
Alright, let's go become a Warbringer. You ever made a pure evasion build? Once.
You have your orders.
I mean, do you count, like, deflection life evasion as pure evasion? Where I'm, like, increasing my life, my deflection, and evasion rating? I've done that once. Where I was life, EV, deflection. I've only done it one time. I did it on a... Well, I've done it twice. I did it once forever ago, but I was really bad at the game in like 0.1, so I don't really count that. But recently, I've only done an evasion build one time. I primarily play armor builds. Armor or life stacking builds. You might have me confused with someone else, Black. I am not a speedrunner. I like trying to go as fast as possible, but I am far from a speedrunner. Would I ever want to try a speedrun to maps? Like, no, because that's not like... I could do that, but like, it would be wasted practice for me. Like, that's not how I play the game realistically. Like... On launch, I'm not going to be going 1 billion miles an hour. Oh, I forgot to put the new bow in. Jesus, that's a big DPS upgrade. Like, whenever I do league starts, you know, I stop and smell the roses, like, I full clear a lot of zones, I'm testing interactions and stuff, like, part of the reason why I don't practice layouts is because, you know, but would I ever do that? Like, maybe I would try it once, but, like, it would not be a good performance, you know. It wouldn't be a good performance, in my opinion. I got really bad ADHD, like, so there's a lot of times I just, like, stop what I'm doing to, like, talk or, like, you know, get distracted by something else, so. In general, just, like, doing something where it's like, can you do this one thing for several hours straight? It's like, yes. But at many points during that several hour streak, I'm going to get slowed down by me getting distracted by something. And I just accepted that at this point, you know, but that's why I don't take speedrunning seriously. I take, like, the learning of mechanics and, like, trying to get better seriously, but I'm not someone that is cut out to be a speedrunner. I don't have the attention to the detail and the focus. I like speedrunning techs. I love doing anything that makes me a mechanically better player. But, yeah. Like, if it was an Act 1 speedrun, you know, that's a little bit more manageable for me. But if we're talking, like, what you said, you specifically suggested, a map speedrun, and I'd be down, but I wouldn't be good at it. I would love to start with solo self-found, but it can limit build creativity. That's the main reason I don't play solo self-found, is because a lot of the builds I depend on, or I like to play, require uniques. And the new ritual changes definitely helps with that. I'm surely gonna play solo self-found a lot more, but solo self-found, at least right now for me, will never be my main game mode. I could see in, like, 5+ years, you know, when I've played the game. I'm sorry, Black, I ramble a lot, but I hope that answers your question. I'm sure in the lead up to this patch, there will be one day where I do a full stream of campaign the maps, and we can get a time of that, but, like, I can't imagine it to be good, you know. Are you using Herald of Ash on your bow with lightning? Yeah. I'm just testing different stuff. There is specifically a quiver, I think it's called Black Gleam, that it makes your shots pierce if you're hitting an ignited target. And it's one of the early ways we can try to get early game pierce on this bow before we have, like, the full engine setup, right? So I'm doing one run with, like, Herald of Ash and, like, a little bit of added fire stuff, just to see the base of what that would play like, you know. More than likely, we're going to be taking Herald of Thunder or whatever, Herald of Lightning, for the early game, and then eventually swapping the Herald of Ice when we get his shot. But I personally like Herald of Ash. I think it looks cool. I don't know about you guys, but I just like the way it looks. But in this situation, like, Herald of Ash, like, chains ignites the enemies, which, if I had that Ignite Pierce quiver, you know, all I gotta worry about is getting armor break up, which I would have after my first Ascendancy points. So, it's a way to potentially enable the bow early on without having to use the Pierce support gem. Oh, Hair of the Vice looks sick as well, too. Oops. I tried to dodge roll there, but I got greedy for one extra attack, and then I didn't get the dodge roll off in time. That snipe freeze combo is so powerful this early, though. Part 2. Still missing support gems in escape shot to make it freeze more reliably.
My satchel is full.
Alright, about to become a Warbringer, boys.
Maybe she knows what's going on.
Hey, later, Andrew. If I don't see you again, good luck on your league start, bro. Yeah, the Bowbringer's gonna be... Snipe's gonna be so good. In my testing, which I'm gonna do a full deep dive on everything I've tested in a video before launch. It's gonna be my... This is my league starter video. But, for whatever reason, barrage shots do not do damage on the return. Only the main shot does damage on the return. So if you barrage snipe, and it shoots 4 snipes, 4 snipes will do damage through the boss, but on the return, only the main original snipe does damage. I don't know if that's a bug. Maybe that's getting fixed in the patch. Who knows? But that interaction works differently with other skills. So it's like, it's really inconsistent. We'll have to see how it works. But either way, even just a singular snipe, ignoring barrage, doing damage and returning at 100% value. That's nuts. That's nuts.
Goodbye. Need something? My wares are renowned.
But yep. If you're tuning in and thinking of league starting it, this is the Mobalytics. It's not fully done. I want to say it's like 60% done. I need to go through and like read update all the tabs and stuff. But this is the Mobalytics. Please give it a follow. That just helps support me on Mobalytics side of things as well. Basically, Rabbit, he's got this like little thing going on where he's always like, look how many favorites I get on Mobalytics. I'm the king of the castle. I'm the king of the castle. That's what Rabbit says. And I just basically need more favorites. That's how we have to, that's how it goes. Am I ever going to get as many favorites as Rabbit? No, because he's a meta slave. So, you know, I'm always at a disadvantage, but we can at least, you know, shorten that gap. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
What? I've got some trinkets. I will tell your tale.
Who goes there? Take care.
Kidding, by the way. I hope that was obviously sarcasm. Alright, let's go kill Balbals. I'm so glad we can skip this part of the Haunted Gates. Have you played Monk? Yes, but like Monk is like potentially my least played Ascendancy. It's either that or Ranger. Does bookmarking your build count? It does count, like, for my heart. Counts from my heart.
Move swiftly.
I know most people don't have a mobile lace accounts, probably, so they can't actually favorite in the system. But yeah, like, unless this build, like, sometimes on my league starts, like, usually they don't go well, or I have what I call build fever, where, like, I just want to play a billion builds, so I only play a build for, like, 3 to 4 days, and then I reroll. I find that unlikely I do that this time. The only way I swap off of Bowbringer early is if it's just bad. Like, something about the interactions is just broken to the point that the bow is unplayable late game. Like, the odds of that happening are so low that it's not happening. So, if you're interested in following along with this build, it will not be, like, unless something bad happens, I'll be pushing it to full clear every campaign quest, and I'm looking to make a bunch of currency on launch, is the hope. How would you swap from HP to staff? What do you mean from HP to staff? I don't understand that question. But for me, Mr. Toastly in general, I don't play monks. You should go talk to my friend Miso Shiro or go check out Corbin. Those two are my go-to monk experts. I've played some quarterstaff builds, but they're always like down here in the armor stacking life EV or the life armor side of the tree. So if you're talking about like playing over here, most people I know that play monk, don't they play like arm or EV ES, like energy shield of evasion hybrid? Like, so I have no idea how to answer for, like, you know, I literally monk is my least played, you know. A lot of people like play hollow palm and stuff. Oh, HP is hollow palm. For some reason, I thought that's how noob I am at quarterstaff stuff. When you said HP, my brain told me life. And I was like really confused by like what you meant. Like, how do you transition from quarterstaff to life build? Like, what do you mean by that? I can't answer that. That's not even hollow palm. This is hollow palm. I've never played hollow palm once, so I'm literally the worst person to ask that. Sorry. Go ask my buddy Miso Shiro, or FG Corbin. Corbin is a really good monk main, and he does like a lot of deep dives into that stuff. Those are my two known monk experts, and Rabbit knows a good about monks too. He did a league starter prep for it, I think. But, yeah, sorry. I've literally, the one time I played Hollow Palm technique was on a Concoction Pathfinder, and I was only using Hollow Palm as, like, a secondary skill type thing. So, like, it wasn't even, like, yeah. Like, without reading it, I could not tell you what Hollow Palm does. That's how little I know about it, so, sorry, bro. Sorry. I need to go to the bathroom real quick, and then we are going to continue the grind. So be right back. I am back. Hey, what's up, Iben? How you doing, man? You have any idea what your league's starting? All good, thanks for the info. Yeah, sorry, man. I wish I was more helpful. I usually do weird builds, so...
These statues are older than anything I've ever seen.
Sometimes my viewpoint of the game is, very narrow sometimes. I've been trying to play more playstyles. I did a lot of, like, testing and, like, trying out new stuff in 0.4, but I do have a preference. Hey, Kyle, what's your starter before unique bow? It's bow stuff. I will be muling a... So the league start plan right now is first character is a ranger. You spend 90 seconds killing the miller. You get lightning arrow, lightning rod, and a bow and a quiver from that. And then you just put it in your stash, and then you go play the Warbringer. And then you're playing lightning arrow, lightning rod from the start. That is my current league start. I have tried a lot of different, like, transitionary stuff, where it's like, do you hope you get a bow drop off of Miller? Or do you hope you get enough gold off of Miller to buy a bow and quiver? Or do you go kill Byra and you get gold from her and then you buy a bow and quiver? Or do you wait till Rust King and then you get a short bow and then you swap then? And those all were like a thing you could do, but... Or you just mule a ranger. Or you just mule a ranger. You spend 90 seconds to make your entire league start way better feeling. I will probably set up some form of, like, mace start where you eventually transition, but it's always awkward. And I just genuinely feel like it's, like, after doing... Today was the first day, if you go back to the beginning of the stream, you'll see me mule the bow and quiver to this warrior, and, like, it's just, like, it's no effort. It literally takes 90 seconds to kill Miller, to get the quest skill gem, and turn it into lightning rod, and then you just put your quiver, and the 2 gems in the sash, and then you just go to Warbringer, and then you're instantly playing lightning bow. So that's the current plan for the guide. I mean, yes, Protag, that might be the most efficient way to do it, but oh, no, okay, so sorry. It's not just about getting the bow, because you need a bow plus a quiver, plus it's, like, better to just start with both lightning arrow and lightning rod out the gate. Because that means you can use your first gem for contagion and frostbomb, and it just makes that whole transition, like, it just makes everything so much smoother. Like, you're just instantly, like, good. It's 4 items you're gaining in 90 seconds. It's 2 skill gems, a bow, and a quiver. And that is... It's really good. It's really good. Like, I've only done it once today. I've done a lot of tests where I was trying the other methods. And, like, I immediately was like, oh, this is just so much more enjoyable than, like, the praying of RNG and stuff. But yes, you could technically do it on a Warbringer first, but I think that just starting with Lightning Arrow, Lightning Rod, it lets you use your first 2 skill gems on Contagion and Frostbomb, and you're just... You don't ever have to worry about skill gem RNG. Starting with those 4 gems right out the gate is just so good. Frostbomb increases your damage on single target, and Contagion is nice to help with clear at, like, the Rust King art and stuff. So, having all 4 just from, like, level 1, basically, for 90 seconds a time. Like, normally I didn't like PoE 1 muling, because in PoE 1, sometimes muling was, like, longer than just 90 seconds. Sometimes it was, like, more than the Miller. But for this specific mule, it's literally the Miller and done. And Miller is so easy with Lightning Arrow. Okay, I missed Babala. Where the fuck she gonna be? Over here? What the hell? We're down here. No way, it's down here.
Feel my wrath!
Is this just some random dead end? Or is Babala really, like, randomly over here? This some, like, loot? What's happening? Yeah, it's just some random-ass loot. Babala's, like, way the fuck over there, I guess. Oh, look at this weird-ass dead end. What is this layout? Look at this. Look at this loop. That led to nothing. And look how long it went. Like, I was sure it was going to loop to where I was seeing right here. I was like, oh, okay, that's just going to loop around and somehow Helani Gates was surrounded. That was just some weird ass. This is like one of the weirdest layouts I've ever had. You even gonna try Thorns Warbringer this league? A Thorns character, sure. But a Thorns Warbringer specifically? I'm not sure. Maybe. I need to update the guide for 1.0 because I'll probably be league starting a Thorns something on 1.0. But specifically Thorns Warbringer, I'm not sure I'd play one. There's a lot more interesting Thorns characters I would want to play first. Like Gemling, Martial Artist, and Chronomancer Thorns are all like kind of something I want to mess around with. And then, like, Warbringer Thorns is, like, one of the worst Thorns builds right now. Not one of the worst. It's still very good, but it's not, like, the best anymore. So it's, like, playing Warbringer Thorns would be, I mean, it's a thing, still. But it's not high on my list of wanting to play on my, like, Thorns builds. Where is Babala? Is she up here? Am I brain off and I killed her already? No. Why? What are you going to play this league, Gruda? Are you thinking about playing Thorns?
My satchel is full.
I mean, my standards have also changed too, but that's for sure. But even normal Shaman Thorns did that, even before Adonia's Ego Thorns, you know? It is crazy, this layout to find Babala. I still haven't found her. There she is, but, like, look at this map. Look what I explored to find. Like, I've never had a Helani Gates, like, I feel like that's like this. Like, look what I did. Like, look where Babala is compared to where the exit was. And, like, I've never had to backtrack as crazy like this. This was a crazy layout. I don't remember ever having this layout.
I know nothing of these symbols. What secrets lie within?
Warrior 100%. You should play Ironbound Warbringer. You should play the build I'm playing right now. It doesn't have a shield, but the bow I'm using has block on it, so it works like a shield. Mist of Salami. Oh no, I double casted.
A coin. What is this?
A coin.
Light.
Let battle be joined.
But this bow is a shield. You can get 75% block with it. Trust, 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 trust. It's the future of Warbringer builds. Hey, what up, Kadachi? How you doing, bro? Come on, miss. Come on, miss. There are 2 more gates. Let's go. Oh, that was the funniest meme ever. The corpses and the towers were pointing to citadels. I cannot believe that actually people caught up, like, believed that bait. People were so desperate to figure out how you found citadels, and it was just horribly coded. there was no rhyme or rhythm to it. Work on iShot Amazon. Are you off of the culling strike train? Is Blockbow gonna use the anvil? Amulet? No. You don't use the anvil when you play Warbringer. It is a common misconception with how Warbringer block works. Anvil does not impact Warbringer at all. Well, unless the bow benefits from overcap, but we don't know if that's the case right now. The assumption is it will not, so... I mean, all of those are good options, Kadachi.
I need more time. Wrath of a king. I shall dethrone you, Sekama, and leave you to the sand.
Don't miss.
I shall dethrone you, Sekama, and leave you to the sand.
I'm not ready.
I tried to seek peace, and the Sekamas disgraced me. Brought to the sand. This time, we choose war. We shall finish this, but not today.
Make haste. We must not escape. Quickly. He conjures the
Did Price Pain work on attacks, or was it melee attack? I thought it was melee attack specifically. I don't think you'd be able to apply it to projectiles, but I can't remember. I mean, that's part of the reason why I'm not playing Thorns as my league starters, because I'm, like, saving it for next league. Next league is when the game's free to play, right? We're gonna have a bunch of normies playing. Normies, we're not gonna use the T word. And... I'm sure they want to play Thorns, and they'll want someone playing it with them, so... I'll be league starting probably, like, a Sword Thorns character. Maybe Sword Thorns Witch Hunter. They technically prefer the armor on launch, but whatever.
Ah, that's nice.
My wares are renowned. It is yours.
with real currency sellers, I don't let those people exist in my chat. I'd ban them for sure. But yeah, I'm definitely going to play a Thorns build this league. It's just... And I was probably a little bit too harsh on Prize Pain. So, like, my initial reaction to Prize Pain was negative because a lot of the people's initial knee-jerk reaction was, oh, Prize Pain, let's get it to 100% chance and not use Crown of the Pale King, and then we don't have to take damage. And, like, immediately that's like, no! That's not the point of Thorns. That's why, that's how other games do Thorns, and it's shit in those other games for a reason. You don't want Thorns to just be an auto-attack build. You have to incorporate taking damage to deal damage at some point. Now, will there be Prize Pain builds that do the 100% chance and, like, try and do some weird attack build with, like, Spear Field or something? Sure. And I'm not saying it won't be bad, but I'm saying that's not Thorns. If you're not taking damage to deal damage as a part of the loop somewhere, you're not playing Thorns. And if you remove Crown of the Pale King, that no longer is Thorns at that point. Now, on a surface level, if you add a single Prize Pain to your build just to have some form of, like, safety net versus enemies who are annoying or don't trigger Thorns, that is fine, I guess. It depends on if it's upgradable and what the upgrade does for it. You can fit a single Prize Pain into a normal Thorns build that's wearing Crown. But my knee-jerk reaction was negative to Prize Pain because literally everybody was just like, oh, we have to wear 3 of it and then remove Crown of the Pale King and turn it into an auto-attack build. And, like, my knee-jerk reaction was just like, no. That, like, yes, you can do that. Yes, that will be a build, but that is not Thorns. That is not Thorns. That's not the direction I wanted Thorns to go in. However, there's potentially a place where Prize Pain is just a safety net tool to fix the awkward moments where Thorns is not getting any procs. If you're talking about using one, just one in your build, I'm okay with that. But if you're talking about, like, using 3 of them and then not wearing Crown of the Pale King, that's not Thorns. And if that's the future design direction for Thorns, I'm salty. But I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case. But that's why my initial reaction to Prize Pain was negative, is just because everyone was immediately talking about, like, just 3 of them and removing Crown and turning it into an auto-attack build. And, I don't think that's going to be as good as people would hope. I assume a normal attack build is just going to outscale that. But if you're adding in 1 as just like a safety net, sure. I don't have an issue with that. But I think to me, it is the reason why I like PoE 2 Thorns is you have Barbs and Burst. And the way Barbs works is when you take damage and you reflect Thorns damage at something, you get 5 stacks of Barbs. And that makes your next 5 attacks do Thorns damage. So you are playing an attack-based build where you're getting to use your attack skills, but the engine always involves taking a hit at some point. And that's super fun. No other game does Thorns builds like that. It's either just like full auto attack base where like you eventually get it to the point where all your auto attacks just do Thorns damage, or it's the complete opposite where you have no influence over your attacks and Thorns is purely idle, where it's like only take damage and deal damage. And that's fucking ass to me. I hate those kind of Thorns builds. I get bored of them so quick. But yeah, that's why my initial reaction to Prize Pain was like, if you look at I released a day of reaction to the patch notes, and I was very negative over the state of Thorns. Largely because of the leech nerfs, but because I was not happy with the initial direction of Prize Pain. And, yeah, I think it's okay in a normal Thorns build if you have 1 of them, you know? I could see me running 1 at all times, potentially, depending on how tanky we get. But, yeah. I mean, reverse knockback builds have always, like, been a thing, like, we've tried to incorporate into Thorns. You know, that could be a thing, but, the problem with that ring is, like, the ring is not good on paper. The ring is just bad in general. The ring is only good in like very specific scenarios where you are playing a pure prize pain build just to do attack damage, or you're versus an enemy that doesn't proc thorns very often. And in a scenario where you're like yoinking everybody in, like that's a cool thing for thorns. Reverse knockback has always been a cool thing we've incorporated into some thorns builds, but you wouldn't need prize pain for that. Because at that point you would just like hopefully be playing normal thorns, right? In my opinion, the ring is for how I would use it, it is specifically just for quality of life. There are some applications with it with like something like Spearfield. Spearfield is an attack that does like, was it like 10 attacks like instantly? If each one of those spikes gets influenced by the ring, then you can use potentially something like Spearfield to shotgun out thorns damage. But that is like the only use application I see where it's like going to be fucking nuts. Otherwise, it's just either a quality of life thing or meme shit. In my opinion.
I'm ready.
It's just, to me though, like, the ring slot is so fucking valuable, that I just, like, it's... I would, like, I'm 90% sure it's just gonna sit in my bags, and I'm gonna, like, gear swap it in those, like, uh-oh moments where it's like, what do I do? I can't, this boss isn't triggering thorns, how do I solve this? I swap to the ring. Like, it's just, it's literally gonna be a moment like that, where I just, like, that's how I'd use it, at least. But there are lots of people who play thorns who want very different playstyles from me, so... By the way, Cal, on the Chrono, I'm going to try the Thorn as a defense. I mean, Thorn's Chronomancer is high on my list of things to test in general, ignoring, like, just using it as a defensive layer. I just think Thorn's Chrono might be really good. Alright, I need to be right back again, and then we're going to get back to grinding and stop yapping about stuff. Be right back. Alright. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying, Blade. Like, I am consistently thinking about reverse knockback. For especially, like, Thorns builds. But with specifically prize pain, like... Yes to everything but the prize pain. Because the support gems, Barb and Burst, like, they're not even, like, a part of the prize pain build, right? Like... To trigger Barbs and Bursts, you have to retaliate with Thorns damage. So, to use those support gems, which are a massive DPS increase, you have to still be getting hit with Crown of the Pale King. So, if you're wanting to do Quill Burst, which is AoE Thorns, you'd still need to be running Reflect, and at that point, you're getting hit, which, you know, you don't need Prize Pain then, right? Which, as you said, feels functionally useless. But
Swift magnificence.
I could see me using it as a gear swap. want to LARP as a pirate crew in the new expedition one, Kaplan. If he's tame. I mean, it's curious to see who the beasts are, right? Like, is the Captain Heartland a squid? What is he? Is the mermaid lady a fish? Like, where do you draw the line at beasts?
Relish your mortality.
You know what I seriously see them adding one day? This is a prediction for the future. If this ever happens, I'm a prophet. But no, trolling aside. So you know how we have the second Ascendancies? So we've got like Abyssal Lich, and then Cholula Monk is rumored to be getting something new this patch. The Beastmaster or whatever, what is it called? Spiritborn? What if their second Ascendancy takes the beast taming Ascendancy for bosses, and it just flips it on its head, and it's like, you can tame humanoid bosses. And then they just like double the amount of bosses that can be tamed. Goes from like Spiritborn to like Mindseer or something. You like mind control humanoids. Because if that node was you can if you could tame every single companion or every single boss in the game, I don't think that'd even be that overpowered.
Good riddance.
You can see that being a Templar Ascendancy, that'd be cool. That'd be cool for sure.
An oasis in the desert.
Playing fire there.
Impressive endurance. Let's plan.
I mean, that's already kind of like a thing in this game.
Fight with
The
intent.
Sekima
You will use that
have a fucking entire train being pulled by slaves, you know what I mean? There's already that kind of in this game. And the fucking Vow temples are full of, like, human experiments and stuff. I don't know. This game already kind of, like, toys that line, you know? They're, like, past that, you know? I don't know if the Sekimas are religions, but they've already got slaves. And they're pulling a big-ass train.
I would give anything for a sip.
You know, it's funny, I've done, like, the last week, because I was preparing the Supporting Fire Tactician guide, I had done so many practice runs on Tactician. And, like, that guide, that starts rough. Like, you're either playing Grenade, which is, like, boring, or you're playing Edie Khan, which sucks from the Warrior start, or you're playing Minions, which is, like, also pretty mid from the Warrior start. Or Mercenary start. But this is just, like, so much better than even my best runs of, my Supporting Fire Tactician. And when we have the actual bow, its damage is going to be better than the bow I have, so.
That was close.
Yeah, he'd be cool, that construct. Yeah, he'd be cool as a
The
tame.
warhead is formidable. Steel
I will
yourself.
overcome this challenge.
Beware of the birds.
I'd tame Viper into Plotsy. She's bae. Oops, rolled into that. I didn't have exposure up, but I don't think I'm doing much elemental damage. I'm so strong. This is the proof. Give me that Warbringer. Give me that Bowbringer. I mean, there's a lot more in this, like...
Strength.
I hope this doesn't sound like I'm calling you Bracken, but there's, like, a lot of people that have said that. It's like, there's a lot more to practice than just the effect of the bow. You know? And we don't even know when I'm getting the bow. Like, the bow's a level 11 bow, but on League Start, what if I can't buy it till, like, level 40, right? Like... There's a lot you can practice without having the bow's effect. You can, like, practice, like, when you're getting certain support gems, what skills you're using before you get the bow. You can, like, emulate, like, what, you know, a lot of the route and stuff. There's still lots of practice you can do without the bow. Yeah, I don't know. There's still lots of practice you can do. I forgot what my first level 2 gem is. Where's my guide? But my assumption is just that on live... No, you're not stupid. You're not stupid. I just, like... It's been asked a lot, so I didn't want to, like... If I was coming down like annoyed or something, it's because I've answered it a lot. It's not that I'm actually annoyed. But there's a lot you can practice specifically. You know, I'm also new to bow builds. I've played one bow build before. So, like, to me, there's a lot more of practicing than just... But I'm also playing bow on, like, not a normal bow start, right? So, like, you learn the passive tree. There's a lot you can learn. There's a lot you can learn.
May that serve you.
But this kind of just, like, emulates a scenario where, like, if I have the bow, I'm following the path that I'm going to be using on the bow. So, I'm at least practicing the practice route. But, if, like, things are going well, it just means on launch it's going to go better once I have the effect that's, like, doubling my damage, right? So, like, I don't know. There's a lot you learn. And yes, there's no such thing as a stupid question. No such thing as a stupid question. Other thing I was wondering is how crazy Minion Splash gem... And see, that's like... Someone asked earlier what I thought the Minion meta was going to be, and it's like impossible to predict because just the addition of Minion Splash and Minion Rage specifically is a, like... That is such a big change to that, like, whole archetype that I have no idea. But no, like, there's no point in, like, playing, to go back to your point, the question, Bracken, if I was, like, doing, like, red maps, at that point it's silly, right? There's really no point in pushing deep into the game. But for me, campaign practice is very helpful still. Very helpful.
This barren place holds an essence of water. Perhaps it is beneath the sands.
Alright, I think I wanted armor explosion. So at this point, you can get armor explosion. I should use my level 2 gem on that. But what did I use it on? I don't even remember now. Oh, I did it on potent exposure. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of, like, weird things with Tactician specifically. There's a lot of anti-synergy. For me, personally, as a build maker, I like when there's random shit like that. Like, that's where it, like, it puts you in an element where you have to solve problems, and that's fun for me. Like, Tactician, supporting fire, it has no easy way to scale it, and it's in a really weird spot. For me, that can lead to some pretty fun moments, but I agree that, like, it is definitely awkward, because it's, like, it's very, the start is a little bit weird. Doesn't feel worth the freeze right now. Feels better to just... Oh, I got interrupted out of my bomb. Like, what the hell happened?
I've know where to keep that.
Lightning.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of weird things with supporting fire, right? Like, the totem nodes don't have any involvement with supporting fire. The pin nodes don't do anything for supporting fire. The banner node doesn't do supporting fire, anything for supporting fire, and the watch how you do it doesn't do anything for supporting fire. You know, it's a very, like, very weird setup, which, yeah, but for, like, it leads to solving interesting problems. So I get why they do that every once in a while. If that was how every Ascendancy was designed, that would be a problem. And I'm not saying they shouldn't rework some aspects of supporting fire, but it's one of my favorite builds. I enjoyed the hell out of playing it. I need to look at my MOBA Bitlytics. I forget how I had originally mapped this shit out. Okay, so on League Start, if I had the bow right now, I'd probably take Lay Siege, but I don't for this route. So I'd either, like, go Relentless for some, like, defensive stuff. You might take Defender's Resolve, but probably not. Probably going to go for Crushing Verdict right now. Wild Herald of Ash instead of Herald of Lightning. There is a world where, like, on League Start, or if you're doing it with a Twink character, you use this bow, or this quiver, excuse me, called Black Gleam. It makes you pierce ignited targets. And at this point, when you have Armor Break 1, where you have Armor Break built in with the Ascendancy, but you're not pathed down here to get Pierce on Armor Break, you have two options to get the bow working. You can either put Pierce in your skills, which isn't ideal, or you use that quiver, which makes your ignited targets you shoot ignited targets, they get pierced. So this is just strictly to test, like, using Herald of Ash, if we go that route, how it, like, you know, it's just simulating what it would be like if we had that quiver with the bow with Herald of Ash. In 99% of situations, you probably want to open with Herald of Lightning. Or Herald of Thunder, whatever the fuck it's called. And eventually swap the Herald of Ice. But specifically, just because there's this one potential possibility of using Black Gleam with the bow for, like, levels 1 through 30-something. 36, I think. I just wanted to have one Herald of Ash run under my belt. Sorry, long answer for your easy question. What skill are you using on the Bowbringer when you have access to all of them? I mean, I'm going to try all of them. Just, like, because you never know, like, without testing the interactions, which ones end up being the most fun or the coolest to use. My gut tells me I want to use Spiral Volley and Snipe. Spiral Volley is my favorite bow skill, and I think if you have, like, chaining, forking, and returning projectiles from Spiral Volley, it's going to look hilarious in mapping. It's going to look fucking hilarious. But, Ice Shot has some insane potential. Ice Shot is like already like a very meta skill. And if you've ever used Ice Shot, like it does a shot where it has a projectile and when it hits something, it shatters and it makes a bunch of little projectiles. And I've already tested the mechanic with Ice Shot. All of those little projectiles will return with the main projectile. They count as the same shot. So Ice Shot has the potential of shotgunning the fuck out of bosses with this build. So that just on paper, oh yeah, there's many ways to get frenzy charges. You'd only do that in late game with Spiral Volley, but there's many ways to automate frenzy charges. I'm not concerned about that. But if we're talking about like what's odds to be like the go-to for everyone, it's probably Ice Shot. I imagine Ice Shot is just ridiculous with this bow. And then there is possibility of Lightning Arrow and Lightning Rod. Mirage Archer gets your weapon and your quiver. So Mirage Archer gets the return arrow effect. So if you have Lightning Rods down, and your Mirage Archer is shooting lightning arrows that are returning and going back through, that, you know, there's possibility for single target of Lightning Arrow, Lightning Rod being insanely good with Mirage Archer. So yeah. Hey, what's up, Vicious? How you doing? I'm doing good, man. Just getting some Bowbringer practice. And yes, Alaskan, every enemy has tags like that. Every enemy. What happened to Chrono? Maybe second build? I just didn't, like, I got swayed off of Chrono forever ago. I got swayed off of Chrono forever ago. I also didn't like the rework, but no. I'm sure I'll play a Chronomancer some point this league, but I have no interest anytime soon. You might work on a Chrono Cold build? Hell yeah. Let's go. I've been my music.
They really need all this to prove their faith.
Did I get a new support gem? I didn't. I want to try Armor Break into, or not Armor Break, Armor Explosion into Lightning Arrow to see how that feels for the clear. The clear is already pretty good. Clear's already so pretty good. There we go. There's a support gem. Armor Explosion. I think it's a tier 2, right? Is it not? Is Armor Explosion tier 1? Oh, it is tier 1. Maybe I need to get one, I mean, you guys didn't need to ban him. Well, I didn't actually see all the messages he said. Maybe he said something mean, but I don't know. Some people are allowed to be upset about it. I ain't worried about it, you know? But yeah. If it was created day, you know, maybe if it was a new account, probably a troll. You're right. But I don't mind the tourist trolls that hard. What's happening? I do like no armor break. Yeah, I'm definitely taking it, Duff. That's true. I'm not really noticing armor explosion proc. I didn't notice armor explosion proc there. Maybe those guys didn't have high armor, or like didn't have like armor or something. See, there, immediately I shoot something else and we get immediate armor explosion. So I'll just bad test of it, I guess. Like all of those are exploding.
I've nowhere to keep that.
Yeah, those guys just have weird armor. And unfortunately, the armor break node isn't like helpful for us really at this point. The only reason with how I'm playing right now, the only reason it's helpful when we have the launch is because we'll have Ironbound, so it's automating the armor break for the pierce stuff to start the engine to start happening, right? For us to start feeling it in this run is when we need this. Because right now we're breaking armor, but we're using elemental skills. Converting 80% of physical damage to lightning. So we're not really benefiting from armor break right now. But once we have our second Ascendancy done, Imploding Impacts makes all damage from hits. So this includes elemental damage. Benefit from armor break. Or fully broken armor. So it'll actually be a damage increase having our Ascendancy in Act 3, whether we're playing Ice Shot or Lightning Arrow, because it just makes Armor Break really good for these skills. When we have Ironbound, Armor Break is more helpful because it just automates the return. But right now, like in this playthrough specifically, Armor Break's really not doing anything for us.
My king rears. Embrace corruption.
He was like bugged. I didn't see his animation there. Probably would want to like have like rapid attacks and bow shot, and then you would like swap that for bossing.
That wound.
Immortal.
I shall grant you mercy.
Well, I mean, that's why I always like lean to building tanky builds with Saw Dude. Is I have to account for me being bad, you know?
I will honor your sacrifice.
Yeah, that no animation was really fucking weird. I've never seen that before. I think it was because I stunned him into the wall. Could you run a similar setup with crossbow skills? No, because this effect... Well, this effect is specifically arrows. Specifically arrows. It's not projectiles. So even if it is a, you know... a Kalguran rune that can be stolen...
I hear you. My wares are renowned. I shall put this to use.
it will not have any value in a crossbow build.
Take care.
Let's just go back to Thunder. How about put exploit weakness on snipe for more damage? That is a very good idea. So, like, for the campaign, I agree with you. That is probably going to lead to, like, us being able to one-shot most bosses. But by late game, I imagine that's not worth it because, well, it depends. Because we have the return shot, right? We would want the return shot to also break armor. like, that's where it's like, is it worth the damage? Because only the first shot from snipe would consume armor break, and then the return wouldn't. So the question is, can you get a new armor break up in time for the return shot to consume it as well? If so, then exploit weakness is a 100% easy add late game. For campaign, I agree with you that it'll probably be an easy slip in, because that'll just make sure, like, the one snipe you do, even like if the first shot doesn't one shot, the remaining return would do. But if in the time the snipe is out there, you're able to get a shot off, or have Mirage Archer get a shot off that breaks armor, and the snipe gets another armor break consume off, that's a very good damage boost. Very good idea. I'm definitely just gonna add it for the campaign though. Just like baseline as a Warbringer. That'll make the consuming freeze bosses just get fucking chunked, so appreciate that that tip. I have not put much thought into support gems yet, but I don't know if I would have remembered exploit weakness anytime soon. It had not been on my mind.
The dark retreats.
But that is a good ad. Just glad melee minions got some love, especially with power zealots and Val grenades have been meta forever. I mean, agreed. I think one of the, like, I don't play minions, but one of the most exciting things in the patch to me was that change. Well, I play minions if you count supporting fire, but my brain doesn't register it as a real minion build. So you leveled this character with Ice Shot? You probably would. I think there is like Lightning Arrow could be good too with the return effect when you take into account how it interacts with Lightning Rod. But if I had to just take an educated guess as to what's going to be best with the bow, with like minimal investment, it's going to be Ice Shot. But Lightning Arrow could be good because when you shoot through Lightning Rod or whatever, or you damage an enemy through Lightning Rod, it triggers the Lightning Rod, and with the return arrows, it's going to double dip that. And then you can do it with Mirage Archer, so you put down Lightning Rods, you and your Mirage Archer are both spamming Lightning Arrow. But that could be pretty good, too. But there's a lot of possibilities. If the question is what's the best, probably Ice Shot. But if it's the question of what's going to be usable, I think most skills are going to work well enough. I know they made adjustments for it, but we don't know if this, but like, you never know with like this bow getting this effect and like what interactions change and stuff. Like I said, that's why I said it's a possibility. But yes, they did nerf Giga shotgunning with Lightning Arrow, Lightning Rod. They made it so, like, the nerf they specifically did with Lightning Arrow was, I think they made it to where you can trigger Lightning Rod less frequently. I don't remember exactly the change. I'm not a bow main, so I don't pay attention to this shit. It's not my archetype. But from my understanding, it's like, you can't Giga shotgun with Lightning Rod, was the change they made. I don't know enough about it, to be honest. But we'll see. I hope it works too, Castle. But I am a, I'm a bow newbie, you know. I'm recommending people join me on this journey because it's going to be fun, but I'm sure, you know, it's going to be learning along the way. It's going to be a good build, but I'm a bow newbie. I don't know all those interactions. There will definitely be a skill that is really good. You going to watch the interview today? What interview? Oh, is today the DM Ghazi interview? What time is it? It's in 20 minutes? I mean, I'm 100% watching it. Am I gonna watch it in 20 minutes on stream? I don't know.
More foul magics.
It's a good question.
I need more time.
Oh. I got stunned and then hit by the ball. I need to take off rapid or armor explosion. We're bossing. Fucking noob dying. Dying again. Apparently. I'm dog shit at this game. While I keep dying to that ball.
I'm not ready. I need more time.
No.
Join the dead, you so defiled.
Harder than it should have been. Remove your head from your ass, dude.
What I seek.
Why is Frostbomb so universally good now? Did it always used to strip elemental res like this? No. I don't think so. But now it's just like an exposure bot. So like any build that does elemental damage, like it's just such an easy add, you know? Hey, how's it going? Sorry to start asking so many questions. I just came across your Tactician Fire build and very interested. I'm looking for a simple build that tanks well and doesn't stress me out by randomly dying. Can you tell me the current state of your build? So it is not a build that like can never die. It's really hard to achieve that with like any build in this game. If you put on a shield, you'd definitely be tankier. It is a cozy and safe build. When it comes to just like, if you're somebody who just wants to experience the general game and you're looking to push tier 1 and tier 2 content, it's absurdly safe. You'll never die. It's very cozy. But when you talk about getting to the hardest content, tier 3 bosses, it doesn't have the best single target. You're going to be looking at like a minute fights for some of the hardest bosses in the game. And in a minute-long fight versus the hardest bosses in the game, there's a lot of opportunities to die to a one-shot. So in those realms, like in the top juice content, if you make mistakes, you can die. But because it does so much damage early on, it has so much AoE, and you can scale your defenses so easily early on, for a majority of the journey, it is very hard to die with, just because, like, it kills stuff from so far away. Bosses is his weakness. So, like, if you're looking for something that can handle the hardest bosses, one-shot them, this build isn't that, at the highest difficulty. But for a majority of the game, you're looking at 15 to 30-second boss fights. You're one-shotting everything in mapping. It's very safe, it's very cozy, and very fun. But like, if you're talking about, like, random deaths to Abyss, you can kill Abyss from 300 feet away. So, you don't have to worry about that. But it's like, you know, it's not unkillable. And, you know, It is, I would say, a B tier build to me at best in terms of performance. But it's S tier in terms of fun and coziness, so... You know, depends on what you're looking for. I don't know if I'm the master of weird builds, but I appreciate that, Compot. Have you ever tried Explosive Spear Titan with negative duration? I have not tried Explosive Spear Titan. I have never played Explosive Spear. I don't normally play projectile skills. But if I were to play Explosive Spear, it'd probably be on an Amazon for some reason. I really want to do one on an Amazon. I don't know about Titan. I don't know enough about Explosive Spear to how to min-max it. But I want to do an Explosive Spear build with parry on an Amazon one day. I don't think I'm going to stream the DM and Gazi interview. I don't like doing that stuff. It makes me feel weird just sitting here watching something. Because, like, for multiple reasons. Like, A, you could be watching their stream. I want you to, like, give them ad revenue. But B, yeah, I don't know. That stuff always just makes me feel weird. I don't know why. I don't think I'm going to do it, though. Maybe I'll, like, have it playing in the background while I'm playing, so I'm still playing the game. But I might just, like, end my stream now, too, and just, like, watch it off stream. We'll see. I didn't realize it was today for some reason. I completely spaced that interview was today. I probably would have streamed later tonight after the interview, instead of, like, streaming through it.
Was not carved by the hands of men.
For this build yet? No. I have not changed anything about this mobilytic since I originally set it up, like, almost a week ago. So it is very out of date and stuff. Like, it's going to be updated a lot over the next week. But I have not touched it since I got the bones originally set up for it. So yeah, it is super, like, don't go into the mobilytics right now and, like, start deep diving in, trying to, like, understand each phase, because it's just the bones are there. Just the bones are there. Why is the clan relic so lame? Well, it might not be as lame as we think it is in this next patch. We'll have to see how charms get updated with the introduction of Maid's Blood. But I agree, it is a very lame choice as of always. But you never know how... Ooh, this is actually a fun leveling staff. I wouldn't call my builds competitive, but supporting fire is, it's a solid league starter. It's cheap, it's fun, it's not going to compare to a Fub Gun Blaster build, or like, again, I think it's B tier at best, personally, when you're like comparing it to like the grand scheme of builds, but it is very cozy. It is very cozy, and it has a very fun curve to it, and what's cool about it is defensively, you can do a lot with it. You can play EV, armor EV, armor, energy shield, armor ES, life stacking. Like, defensively, it's however you want to play it. So if you have a preference in defenses, you just do that preference. Guessing over here. And there's a few ways you can scale its damage too. But also, it's the first build I've seen since 0.1 where Chober Chabber works. Like, Chober Chabber isn't memes in this build with the new updates to Chober Chabber. Where is it? Here? They changed Chober Chabber where it can roll up to, I think when you corrupt it, you can get +4 minion skills on it. And then you can get like 4 sockets on it or whatever too as an option for leadership runes. So it's basically, in functionality, it's just like Trench Timbre was last patch, but it has spirit on it. So we get more spirit for like blasphemy and minions and more skeletal archers or whatever we want to do. You can work in Blink if you wanted to now, which is actually might be what I do with the extra spirit from Chober.
Cannot help me here.
So, oh no, the build like was already super fun. The only warning I have about league starting it, and I don't really think this is too big of a warning, but I'm not league starting it. And like, let's just say, like, here's an example. Let's just say there's a game-breaking bug with Sporting Fire that like you run into, and I'm not league starting the build, so I can't be like, this is how you navigate it, or something like that, right? Like, or figure out solutions to it, right? So that's the risk with, like, league starting a build that I'm not, like, the creator that made the build up isn't league starting, but there's probably 100 different, like, not 100, but there's probably going to be plenty of people on PoE Ninja playing the build, and there's other creators definitely going to be playing Supporting Fire on league start. I'm pretty sure Blaze is a big Tactician fan. I don't know if he plays Supporting Fire, but he plays Hardcore and Solo Self-Found, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's playing it. I don't know who else is league starting it, but I'm sure there's other creators league starting it. You can find guides too, but I'll be watching the meta. It's going to be my second character, so I'll be updating it, like, probably daily for the first week. I'll, like, before I go to bed every night, I'm going to be looking at, like, well, A, I've got a friend league starting Supporting Fire, so he's going to be telling me how if he runs in anything. But B, I'll just look at PoE Ninja too, see what people are running into there, talk to viewers who are league starting it. But at some point, I'm going to play it pretty early on, I hope. Does Supporting Fire benefit from presence buffs? Nope. How's it going, Rusty? How you doing, man?
It's enormous.
I'm not ready.
Oh, I haven't upgraded my, Oh, damn, I wasn't expecting to get frozen from Frostbomb. Don't unfreeze here. Damn it, I didn't get the freeze consumed there, because I wasn't expecting Frostbomb to freeze them, and I winded up another freeze attack. So missed the freeze consumption. Does Lightning Rod not hit him? It doesn't look like I'm getting good overlap. But I haven't upgraded Frostbomb in a minute. No, it's upgraded. Oh, it's not upgraded high enough, maybe.
I need more time.
Boss is jank versus most classes, but apparently it's especially jank versus with bows too. There we go. That was a good snip there. Yeah, agreed, Alan. Agreed with both your points. Oops.
Time to make my escape.
If Chonk isn't a hidden Ascendancy, what's the next best one? Gemling. I don't know. I have no clue, honestly. It's like, I don't know the lore stuff enough to even have a clue, so it'd be literally a complete guess. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who else would be tied to the Dreamer, because I don't know who the Dreamer is. It could be like it'd just be a completely random guess. Okay, so yeah, I didn't realize the DM Ghazi interview was today. I don't really want to watch it on stream. I'm probably just gonna go get something to eat and then like watch it like off stream. So I'm gonna end the stream here, guys. I might stream later tonight because I was actually wanting to play this build a lot today and like ended the stream a little bit earlier than I was wanting to. So you might see me go live like later tonight around like 8-9 p.m. my time. But if not, I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna be streaming every day until launch. And then I will be streaming, you know, every day after launch. So, thanks for hanging out, everybody. If you guys are interested in following my League starter, I will be linking it in chat. And I would appreciate the favorites on Mobalytics if you have the Mobalytics account. Helps drive the build and the algorithm. But yeah, I'm going to end the stream there. Go watch the DM and Ghazi interview, or, you know, watch whoever you want. Don't listen to me. But thanks for hanging out, you guys. I'll either see you later tonight or, you know, keep in mind before launch, the day before launch, we have the podcast with me, Miso, Rabbit, and our guest this week is Captain Lance. So if I don't see you in one of my streams, just, you know, try and catch the podcast. Thanks for hanging out, you guys. Bye.